A detective arrived at the crime scene after residents reported discovering the body of a woman. He immediately questioned the surrounding residents for clues. A few days later, another murder occurred, this time with a victim, a woman wearing a red dress. The detective quickly ordered the crime scene to be secured and kept sterile. While chatting with his wife at home, she mentioned seeing a young boy following the woman in the red dress before she was killed. The detective immediately investigated the boy, who was later found to have Down syndrome. Nevertheless, he was still questioned. A detective from the city was assigned to assist in handling the murder case. The boy with Down syndrome was intimidated by the local detective into confessing, and was even forced to repeat the detective's words. The city detective found something suspicious about how the suspect was determined. However, the local detective insisted that the boy was the culprit and prepared to reconstruct the crime scene. The reenactment failed when the boy's father arrived, convincing them of his son's innocence due to a lack of evidence. The Central Police Department intervened to ensure the investigation was conducted properly and to prevent wrongful arrests. Around the same time, a missing person report surfaced. After an investigation, the missing individual was found dead, becoming the third murder victim. The detectives took a brief break to relieve stress. However, tension arose when the local detective disagreed with the city detective's analytical approach. After the situation calmed down, they devised a strategy to catch the killer. They decided to lure the murderer using a female police officer walking alone at night in a red dress. However, the operation was postponed when sudden rain forced them to take shelter with passing students. Elsewhere, a woman was asked to pick up her husband with an umbrella. While walking, she felt like someone was following her. The next morning, she was found dead. While investigating the case, a female police officer discovered a pattern. Before every murder, someone always requested a song called "Sad Letter" on the radio. The city detective rushed to find out who was sending the requests. Meanwhile, the local detective sought help from a shaman to find the killer. They were advised to place offerings at the crime scene. Coincidentally, the city detective was also there searching for clues when a suspicious man appeared, acting strangely. Due to his unusual behavior, the detectives pursued and arrested him. The man was interrogated and forced to confess by the local detective. Meanwhile, the city detective received information from a student about someone living under the school's toilet. While investigating, he met a teacher who mentioned a woman who often cried on a hill. When the city detective met her, it was revealed that she was a survivor of the serial killer. She survived because she refused to look at the perpetrator's face after being assaulted. She also described the murderer as having soft hands. The city detective hurried back to the station to check the suspect's hands. However, just then, the song "Sad Letter" played on the radio again. Shortly after, another woman's body was found with a peach inside her genitals. The police traced the address of the sad letter sender and rushed to the location. The house was empty, but they found the man at his workplace. the young man was brought to the police station for interrogation. He matched the description given by the woman on the hill, yet he still denied committing the crimes. The detectives then reviewed the interrogation footage of the boy with Down syndrome. In the recording, he seemed to have witnessed the incident in a blurry manner. The detectives arranged a meeting with him. But while waiting, tension rose in a restaurant when a patron mocked the police for frequently arresting the wrong people, leading to a commotion. The boy panicked and fled. When shown a photo of the sad letter sender, he looked terrified and ran away again. Tragically, he was hit by a train while trying to escape. The detectives attempted to match the semen DNA found on the victims by sending samples to a laboratory in the U.S. Meanwhile, the city detective, still unconvinced, secretly followed the suspect but lost track of him. Meanwhile, the serial killer struck again. This time, the victim was a schoolgirl who had previously met the city detective. Without hesitation, the detective rushed to confront the suspect and brutally assaulted him, nearly killing him. Suddenly, the local detective arrived with the results of the DNA test. The test confirmed that the suspect's DNA did not match the evidence found at the crime scene. As a result, he was not the true killer. In the end, the serial murderer was never found.